Hey guys, Boone down south. Today we're going to be looking at this Moultrie 300-pound capacity metal deer feeder that my dad just got to replace his old Moultrie that he's had for years, just like the one I've had for like 7 or 8 years now. It's still running. So we're going to go over taking a look at this thing. It's pretty sturdy and stout. We got it set up. We're going to get it set up, go over the programming and whatnot, and show you what it's all about. So stick around, hit that like and subscribe. This is the old one we're replacing. The squirrels have just torn up the lid on this thing, and we've done our tape trip on it, but my dad's just tired of dealing with it, and basically just wanted the new one. A lot more problems than I do with the squirrels. We've taped his up a bunch. He's got a lot more holes here. A lot of this has been chewed up by the squirrels. Let's just say I have a Ruger precision rimfire rifle sitting in my office, sighted in at 50 yards, which is exact distance to my feeder, which might or might not help my squirrel situation at my house. All right, guys, here it is. I'm not going over the assembly of this as far as the basic setup because it is pretty simple, guys. It's just a Phillips, and then the biggest thing is the bolt. There's 2 bolts that go through the legs right here, a 16 millimeter right here, and probably put a crescent wrench on the backside to lock that in. Well, that'll do it for you. That's really all you need to put this thing together. It does not come with a battery. We missed that yesterday, so make sure you look at the box of the battery. It's a 12 volt 8 amp sealed lead acid battery that you're going to fit in there of a certain size. It's going to sit inside here. I'm going to show you the insides of what this looks like. We're going to get this thing out in the field and get some corn in it and show you the programming and whatnot. But this is what it looks like fully assembled. It is pretty stout and sturdy. There is a solar panel on the backside. We'll take a look at that. It's going to be perfect for my dad's setup by his house. Again, we're replacing an old Moultrie that's kind of been tucked in the woods. He's had a little view, but my dad sits out here every day out here outside his garage, and we're going to put it over in his field back here where the deer can come and he can see him multiple times a day coming through here. So that's our plan. So let's take a look at a couple components in this thing. All right, a few features. We got a locking lid here. We've got a little window. You can kind of see the feed levels. We have a critter guard down here for varmint protection to keep them out of there for sure. There's a pretty stout metal down here, so I don't see them getting into that. Full metal spinner down here. And like I said, this thing's pretty stout. And if I come around to the back side here, you'll see it comes with its own solar panel, and we'll be able to angle that really nicely, take care of the battery. Let's take a look at the inside. All right, like I mentioned, it's pretty simple to put together. Take a look at this in just a second. But basically, the hardest part of this whole thing was the motor assembly, because you got to reach in the bucket, and there's a screw that goes in there and a screw that goes in there that holds it in place. And basically what I did is I just set this up on a chair on its side and just reached in the bucket and screwed that in. If you had a second person, it does make it handy just to flip the bucket over and sort of set up kind of like that. But as you can see, the wiring from the motor housing goes into this tube, goes up to this junction box here, of which we have the junction box open, and that is what's housing our battery, our controller, our programmable controller, our battery that we purchased, and it's also where the solar panel feeds in through this tube. It's wiring into here. And the way it works is the wires coming from the controller, they're going to slip on to the battery terminal, but they also have an extra blade on each side to attach a solar component to it to get that thing up and going. So this thing looks pretty good. It looks pretty clean. It looks pretty watertight. Pretty happy with how things look so far and how they've run the wire down there and everything. So what we're going to do is we're going to start getting this programmed and put this out into place and see what happens. All right, guys, there's just one sheet of paper that's all the instructions for programming the timer. It doesn't look too bad. So first thing we do is set the time and check all that. It does come factory pre-programmed to throw feed at 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. for 6 seconds. So we're going to change out. We're going to put in 3 timers. We're going to change it down to 3 seconds and do it at 7 a.m. and at noon, and then again at 4 p.m. All right, if you're going to program a time on this, you would hit the program button and you would hit up or down to change the hour. And then when you want to go to the minutes, you're going to go press the right button to go to the minutes, go up or down, and you can hit program to be done with that. Now it's set the current day. It's set for Sunday. I can change, hit the wrong button, change to Monday or Sunday. It is Sunday. Hit the program button to change. Now we've got our feed remaining, and actually he's only got 100 pounds right now. We're going to go ahead and load this thing up in the next couple of days though with 300 pounds in here. But leave it at 100 for now. Hit program. We're now on timer 1, and you can see it's set for 7 a.m. and 6 seconds. All right, if we want to set the feed time, we're going to hit the program until we get through. That's for the hour and minute. We got the current day, how many pounds. Now we're on timer 1. Okay, timer 1 is flashing. We're gonna hit the down arrow. That takes us to the days of the week. They're all enabled, so that's what we want. I'm gonna hit the down arrow again. That takes me to my set time. It's set to 7 o'clock. If I wanted to change this, I would hit program to be able to edit that, and I can change to 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, whatever. We're gonna leave it at 7. Hit program, and now I'm gonna hit the down arrow again, which is gonna take me down to high speed. I'm gonna hit the left arrow to select the number of seconds. I'm gonna hit P, program, to go into edit mode for that. Now I can adjust it down to 3 seconds, which is all I wanna do. Hit the program, and now we're good. And now we're gonna hit the back button. And now we're back here. So now we're gonna select our noontime feeding. So I'm gonna go into program, and we're at timer 1. There's timer 2. We're gonna edit timer 2. We want it every day of the week. We're going into the time mode. I'm gonna hit program, and I'm gonna adjust this to be 12. We want 12 p.m. 12 p.m. I'm gonna hit program for that. I'm gonna come down. It's high speed. I'm gonna hit left, the left button to go over to my number of seconds. I'm gonna hit program to edit that. I'm gonna take that down to 3 seconds. A high speed in 3 seconds. I ought to put plenty for the deer we have here. Otherwise, I'll just beat up all our corn. Hit program again. There we go. That's timer 2 set for 12 p.m. for 3 seconds on high speed. Now I'm back, hit the back button again, and now I'm going to program until I get to timer number 3. There's timer 2, and there is timer 3 right now. You see it's defaulted to 12 p.m. at 0 seconds. So we're gonna go ahead and set this now. Every day of the week, we're gonna come down here, and we want to hit the program to edit this. And now we're gonna adjust the time, and we're gonna let this one go off at 4 p.m. Hit program to lock that in. I'm gonna hit the down button now. We got our high speed. I'm gonna hit the left button to go to number of seconds. And now I'm gonna hit program button to edit the number of seconds. And we're gonna take it to 3 seconds. And I'm gonna hit the program button there. That's locked in. Timer number 3 is 4 o'clock for 3 seconds. All the other timers, there's 10 timers, will all be set to 12 o'clock at 0 seconds. So they won't be going off. I'm gonna hit the back button, and we are good. All right, so now I want to test this out. So we're gonna hit the test and back button. We're gonna hit test. It's gonna show 3 seconds, which is the default of our first timer. We set it for 3 seconds, and that's what's gonna show as a default. Whatever your first timer is, that's what's gonna show. You can adjust that if you'd like for your test, hitting the up or down buttons, and then hit program to lock that in. Then the speed's gonna show up. We're set to high. You can adjust that if you'd like. I'm gonna leave it to high. I'm gonna hit program again. And when I hit program this time, it's gonna start a 5-second countdown timer, and then it will run the test. And there's the 5-second countdown timer coming down. And you're gonna see it's gonna kick off in just a second here. All right, the metal lid goes on. We got locking hinges here on both sides. Let's get the other one on. I'm not sure if I mentioned to you about the viewer hole there. And we'll lock on the other side. We'll lock this up, lock it in, your lid's secure. The only thing I'm worried about with this setup, it is a curved lid, so you know the rain will run off if this is set level. I'm worried about this little lip right here. See, it's got this lip. I feel like that's gonna collect water, and over time that may rust this thing out. I just don't know, but that's about my only concern with it. Other than that, this thing is pretty stout and sturdy, and we're gonna move it into position now and go ahead and get some corn set up on this thing and see what it'll do. All right, this is only a 5-foot field height, so you could just throw it over your shoulder, but I brought the golf cart over to dump the corn in, so sometimes it's just easier to have a little height. This is an open bag already, so we're gonna throw this one in. Go. All right, so we're gonna get this thing full, but I'll show you what it looks like through the window. And here you can see that we're not full in there, but that's a nice good window there. So like I said, we're gonna load this up. We've only got this much corn in here right now. As you can see, you know, it's humped up a little bit, but all right, now that we got some corn in here, we're gonna go ahead and run a test pattern again. So test, we're good on our seconds. Get my hand over here. We're gonna hit program. We're gonna hit program again. It's counting down, I'm getting back. Go! Yeah, that pretty good pattern of corn.
Yeah.
Probably a good 10 foot out all the way around. That was 3 seconds running. And that'll be plenty. We're gonna do that 3 times a day. And all this grass will be worn down after a little while and you'll kind of get a better idea. But that did a pretty good run. All right, guys, we got this thing filled out. So it is full at max capacity. The way this is set up, the sun hits the solar thing all the time. It's perfect. We're gonna lid this thing up. And if I walk around here, you know, you see the indicator that the whole thing's full. And the one thing I didn't tell you guys about is down here, you can't really see it on these feet. But on the feet down here, let me pull this back and see here a little bit. You've got these holes down here, and you can see that's almost the size of my finger there, that you could put some spikes down there to nail this down. So if you got a hog problem or something like that and they're knocking your feeders over, you could spike this into the ground. So I think it's gonna be pretty sturdy here. Feel pretty good about it. But here's loaded up, we're gonna cap it off and get this thing going. And as you can see, guys, it doesn't take very long for deer started showing up. They started showing up the very first night, 3 times that first night, and they've been showing up every day since. So they don't seem to mind this feeder at all. All right, there you have it, guys. Again, easy setup. You just need a couple tools to get you going. It's really just mainly putting the legs on there. Really easy setup, very intuitive. The instructions are pretty straightforward. It's pretty solid, pretty sturdy, holds a lot of corn. My dad's not gonna have to worry about the squirrels chewing through this thing. So anyway, we're gonna let this go through the season, and maybe next season we'll do a follow-up and see how well this thing's held up for the year. So in the meantime, thanks for watching.